I wish you'd seen Minnie Foster when she wore a white dress with blue ribbons and stood up there in the choir and sang. She used to be lively when she was Minnie Foster, but that was 30 years ago.
I've seen the world, done it all, had my cake now. Diamonds brilliant in Bel Air now. Hot summer nights with the light when you and I were forever wild. Crazy days, city lights when you would play with me like a child. Will you still love me when I'm no longer young and beautiful? Will you still love me when I'm gone?
I spoke to Wright about it once before and he put me off, saying folks talk too much anyway, and all he asked was peace and quiet. I guess you know how much he talked himself.
When I'm no longer beautiful, I've seen the world lit it up.
Did you know John Wright, Mrs. Peters?
Not to know him. I've seen him in town. They say he was a good man.
Yes, good. He didn't drink and kept his word as well as most, I guess, and paid his debts. But he was a hard man, Mrs. Peters. Just to pass the time of day with him, like a raw wind that gets to the bone. Minnie was young and did not know what she wanted. She was over the immature boys that she was used to chasing. But John, he was mature and could help her settle down. She did not know what she was getting herself into. I've never liked this place. Maybe it's because it's down in a hollow and you don't see the road. I don't know what it is, but it's a lonesome place and always was. I wish I had come over to see Minnie Foster sometimes. I've not seen much of her of late years. I've not been in this house. It's more than a year. It never seemed a very cheerful place.
No, it's not cheerful. I shouldn't say she had the homemaking instinct.
Well, I don't know as Wright had either.
You mean it didn't get on very well?
There was a man around last year selling canaries cheap, but I don't know if she took one. Maybe she did. She used to sing real pretty herself.
Seems funny to think of a bird here, but she must have had one. Or why would she have a cage? I wonder what happened to it.
Why, look at this door. It's broke. One hinge is pulled apart. Looks as if someone must have been rough with it. Somehow, we just don't see how it is with other folks until something turns up. Not having children makes less work, but it makes a quiet house, and Wright out to work all day, and no company when he did come in. I think she would have wanted a bird, but I didn't know as what his wife wanted made much difference to John. Come to think of it, she was kind of like a bird herself, real sweet and pretty, but kind of timid and fluttery. How she did change.
It makes me shine like diamonds.
It would be lonesome for me sitting here alone.
I know how things can be for women. I tell you, it's queer, Mrs. Peters. We live close together and we live far apart. We all go through the same things. It's just a different kind of the same thing.
I think maybe that's why she kept so much to herself. She didn't even belong to the ladies' ad. I suppose she felt she couldn't do her part. And then you don't enjoy things when you feel shabby. Mr. Henderson said coming out that what was needed for the case was a motive, something to show anger or sudden feeling.
Love me when I'm no longer beautiful.
No, Wright wouldn't like the bird. A thing that sang. She used to sing. He killed that too.
We don't know who killed the bird.
I knew John Wright.
It was an awful thing was done in the house that night. Mrs. Hale killing a man while he slept, slipping a rope around his neck that choked the life out of him.
Well, women are used to worrying over trifles.
Will